As ever, it's open season on white history and culture, especially in Europe and especially in Sweden, probably one of the most woke European countries to ever exist. Now, there's a certain politician there, and her name is Alice Bah Kuhnke. She was the former Prime Minister, and I think it was during this era that the whole Swedish government were all females and they wore those pink pussy hats. So make of that what you will. She is a member of the Swedish Green Party. That should tell you everything. And she is very much a hard left politician, all for refugee rights and the rest of that woke nonsense. Now, I found out she was trending on social media because she has demanded that artifacts from the Viking era should be turned into scrap metal so that Sweden appears more friendly to other nations. And this is regarding the Vikings' history of raping, pillaging and destroying. Now, the Vikings, despite their bloody history, and every European country has a bloody medieval history, and the Vikings are no different. They are an integral part of European history. They were everywhere. They famously looted Britain, or the northeast of England. They found their way to Ireland, northern France, Denmark, all over Europe. And they did rape, pillage, murder, cause mayhem. But they were a people of their times, weren't they? It's what people did. But I think the best fact I like about the Vikings, and one that not many people know about, is that they made their way to the United States, well, North America at the time, because Viking artifacts have been found there. Now, I think this woman is a disgrace to Swedish history and culture, and she needs to be removed. She is the daughter of an African man and a Swedish woman. However, looking up this Swedish woman, citation is needed on Wikipedia. Not that I'm saying Wikipedia is the go-to place for all facts, but apparently her mother is Swedish. So she was born in Sweden, grew up in Sweden, and now she wants to trash its history. It's disgusting. Viking history is white history, and white history is European history. It's all important. It's part of us and who we are. It's where we were, and also sometimes it shows us where we're going. White history is about as important as every other history on earth. We've had our ups and downs. We've done bad things. We've also done fantastic things. But for this woman to do what she is doing, I think it's a crime. Now, first of all, it was not just the Vikings who carried out these practices. Every empire or country in history, somewhere in the world, every race carried this out at some point or another. They all raped, pillaged, murdered, conquered. And secondly, the majority of Sweden's population is Viking descent. And this would be erasing their history, especially if they don't have a say in this. And lastly, destroying artifacts from another period in time because they don't reflect the views of a current woke government is exactly what ISIS did in the Middle East. ISIS, the Muslim terrorist group that destroyed priceless ancient artifacts because those artifacts didn't align with their warped barbaric views. And so the Swedish government and this woman, they're no different. Now, can you imagine if you have Viking heritage flowing through your blood? How would you feel that your ancestors who worked hard to craft intricate, precious metal into beautiful ornaments, swords, shields, armour, helmets, and all that stuff, that history, that culture, that heritage, is going to be destroyed or used as scrap metal, like it was a can of Coca-Cola? Now, I can't confirm it, but rumours are this politician, she wants to replace the Viking artifacts and Sweden's Viking Norse heritage with Islamic and African culture, which is in fact a replacement. And I think it's a crime, and she ought to be prosecuted somehow. And the Swedish people, they don't seem to be doing anything about it. Well, the majority of them, they've just rolled over like the cucks they are. They are more happy now to wear pussy hats, pink pussy hats on their heads, for the Me Too movement. I mean, what would the great Vikings of the day, what would they be thinking? Watching their ancestors behave like this, their culture being destroyed, torn apart by someone who is not of their land. I mean, there are minority groups out there who are quick to cry about the British Empire stealing artefacts and keeping them in our trophy cabinets, I mean the history museums. And yet here is this woman of ethnic descent doing exactly the same thing but worse. She's destroying them, she's erasing it from history rather than preserving them. Shame on her, shame on the Swedes for allowing this to happen. And I can't imagine what Odin and the rest of the Norse gods must be thinking while they're drinking their mead in Valhalla over all this. Anyway, that's my video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next time, have a great day, look after yourselves, and Roger Trout Tickles.